Were you not ready?
It's all good.
It's
Are you ready?
5:30.
Are you
You're
ready? You're the one who always says 5:30. We have to start.
See, my drink is in the picture. I'm ready.
I do see it. Wait, mine's not. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I need to open this first.
Yeah, that's helpful. Oh my goodness. We were just
Hello, everyone.
thinking, unfortunately, Rebecca Black.
Fortunately.
Why? Unfortunately,
welcome, because she is now stuck in my head. Okay, welcome to Deep Fried Neurons, where you've got to get down on Friday.
Get down, get down. How about that one?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Get down. That better?
Again, that is an improvement. Jungle Boogie is definitely an improvement.
Jungle Boogie.
Yeah, we can't sing too well. I don't think we're singing well enough to set up YouTube's YouTube's things.
I defy. That's actually like, that's a wonderful party game to try to sing to Shazam or some other music recognizer well enough that the people around you can know what you're singing, but Shazam can't quite get it.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's an interesting game.
Thread the needle there. Just
totally.
He's a pro level like chorale geek. We could move threading that needle.
Yeah, I have a question. Have either of you heard of PowerPoint parties?
That's a little dirty.
Or contests or something? Yeah, this is apparently a thing now.
Okay.
I was told by one of the members of my D&D party who is in college and thus knows things. Yeah. So it's like everybody makes a PowerPoint and then you show it to each other. A PowerPoint of like, the 5 worst songs ever or something, or
that's hilarious.
And then you present.
You could do animation. You could have some fun with this. Like everyone has to bring, and you could constrain it in a really interesting way. Like everyone's presentation has to be 5 minutes, or everybody's presentation has to be 20 slides.
I kind of feel like we should do this at some point. It sounds
sort of fascinating to me.
I know. I was just like, I'm like, okay, this is a thing that young people do. I'm like, when I was your age, we didn't have that shit.
It's making me feel like I'm the wrong age because a PowerPoint party sounds like amazing to me.
No, to me too. I was like, I want to play. And he's like, sorry, it's full.
Hey, man, let's get high on information.
I love it.
Like, sorry, it's full is his way of trying to, keep the old person out of the game.
This sounds a little bit like there was a couple of sort of anti-events that would happen during some of these tech conferences I'd go to. One of them was where you would be given a PowerPoint that you had never seen, and the slide, and they would, and the sort of MC would progress the slides like every 15 seconds, and you'd just have to make up a narrative as to what the actual talk was about. And so one of the best ones I ever saw. Sorry?
Bad lip reading, but for PowerPoint slides?
Basically, yeah. And like a lot of times these PowerPoints were like really off in the weeds technical ones about like, the agricultural industry projections for 2015 or something. But like one of the best ones was where somebody had taken one of these really dry presentations and replaced every word with the word chicken. And it was a thing about like I think globular clusters or something. I don't even know. But
wow.
So PowerPoint parties are the thing now.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is the thing.
I love it. Can you use Keynote, or will that get you kicked out?
I think it's lowercase PowerPoint.
Yeah.
I assume. Uh-oh. We lost Barb.
Oh.
Barb.
Okay, let's do the thing. Let's do the thing.
Oh, wait. Barb. Oh, there's Barb.
I went to close a window,
Mhm.
make sure that I had like my computer was not going to crap out on me and horrible like connection, and I closed this window instead of any other window.
Okay.
Most of the times when I close my window,
Halfway
you guys,
click.
it's because of that.
Yeah. I was like mid-click, and I'm like, no.
Jay can walk again.
Yeah. What's that like? Walking.
He lost his wheels. He used to be slowly turned into a car, but now he's back to being a human.
All right. Oh. Anyway, yes, exactly.
That is correct.
Robot in disguise. All right. Barb, what are you drinking?
Oh yeah, that's right. We're drinking things. I am drinking Polaner Hefeweizen in my tour of German beers. I've had this before. I explained why. Like, I know a bunch of German beers. I think, right? We had a German intern on Beer Fest, and he would stock up the office fridge with all the good beers, all the good German beers. We had a tour guide for like all of the German beers.
That's great.
Sit around and play Mario Kart and drink beer at beer 30.
What was the brand name again?
Polaner. Paulaner.
Paulaner.
Paul.
That is not how I spelled it.
Paulaner.
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 All fruit.
Paulaner. Paulaner. Paulaner.
From someplace called Munchin.
Yes. Munchin.
And what's your beer, Todd?
Same thing as last time. Mango Cart from Golden Road.
Woo.
Yeah, because I will be less likely to destroy something with this than with the wine glass.
This was off stream that Todd accidentally spilled wine on the computer.
Yeah,
on the backup computer.
No, it
wasn't
was
the backup.
No, it was the real. It was the real computer.
What
are you drinking, Carlin?
I'm drinking a drink that's been long in the making. It's been brewing in the cabinet, I think, for about a month.
Herm.
No, you'll like this. You'll like this one. Let me put I took beans. We got some fancy beans from this local LA coffee roaster called City Bean. City Bean. They seem like really great people. I read about them first in a story by the LAist, which they have now linked to on their homepage.
Excellent.
I think this one is the one of the ones from the. I think it's just the first one here. The Columbia FTO Cauca AMUCC Women's Cooperative. Asociación de Mujeres Cafeicultoras de Cauca is what that AMUCC stands for. And it's a light medium roast, and I soaked it, put those beans in vodka, and 2 ounces of vodka, about a tablespoon of beans and 2 ounces of vodka, which turned into 1.5 ounces of vodka because the beans absorbed some of them, I think.
Eat the beans. Eat the beans. No, probably don't eat the beans.
People do coffee covered. They're chewy now.
Chocolate covered coffee beans. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can eat coffee.
They're a different texture than the
Yeah. I figured it would make them kind of edible, maybe, but hopefully not poisonous.
No, they're not, because chocolate covered coffee beans and eat those. I mean, nothing.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I once accidentally stayed up all night studying once when I discovered those at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was actually coffee.
I mean, well, this is a 1-to-1 ratio of the coffee infused vodka and 666. So it's about 3 ounces. So a little coffee orange thing going on. Could be good with amaretto. Could be good with the brandy. I am sort of bummed that I didn't make more because it's really good.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Start now. Make some more.
Yeah.
Well,
We
we're
got
out of the
beans.
fancy beans. That was sort of a.
Those were the last fancy beans that existed in the world. Little known fact.
So what I had
Gone.
to do.
It's
It's all
done.
crap from here.
Yeah.
It might be, but that's a whole other story. By buying this sort of like cooperative fancy beans. Anyway,
I like Conservatory for coffee and tea. They have good beans that they roast on the spot. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Local coffee roasters are great. You can actually also even drive out to the Pomona farm store. The community college out there has a farm store. It's a big ag school, actually. And they have multiple coffee varieties that you could buy as plants. We have one in our yard. It has never made any beans yet.
Hurry up, plant. I want coffee tomorrow morning.
The leaves are also caffeinated, so if I want to, I can make a tea out of coffee leaves. This is my emergency backup plan.
Coffee tea.
Yeah.
That's the new hipster thing. No, it's tea, but with coffee.
Well, I mean, tea, it would be an infusion, because a tea is really from the Camellia sinensis plants. Anything else that's not Camellia sinensis is not tea. Sorry. I don't have one of those yet. I haven't. It was actually something I was going to get in 2020 that I put off. Would this work with I bet you can soak anything in vodka with cacao beans. I think it would be cacao nibs and IBS. But yeah, you can soak anything in vodka, and it maybe won't kill you.
Maybe.
What would kill you? What would kill you? Like, is there anything that's normally edible that you soak it in vodka?
Well,
and it makes it not great.
Mm.
I think there are some things that might be borderline. I have a book by the same woman who wrote The Drunken Botanist, she talks about it a little bit in The Drunken Botanist. And she's the person who says, like, please don't just go like getting random plants out of your yard and soaking them in vodka. I think I mentioned this when we did because the professionals use fractional distilling, so they can make sure they're getting only specific chemicals out of things, or specific ranges of chemicals out of it. So I certainly wouldn't want to soak almonds. I don't think that's how they make. I don't know specifically how they make frangelico, but or amaretto.
But also, how do you make cyanide? Like, don't do that.
I wouldn't be clear. So there are lots of things that I think. If it's something that you generally can eat, the whole thing, I think you can probably soak the whole thing in vodka. But don't quote me on that.
But don't.
Don't.
You can probably do that, but
yeah.
Carolyn is a professional doing this on a trained course.
Yeah, we have a mass spectrometer at Crashbase now, right?
Yeah,
we do.
So you could check it. You could check it for cyanide.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway,
it's so dark now. I'm sleepy.
No, I'm like, this is so weird. I'm used to just like having the sun shine right on me and do really bad like lighting things. Now it's just instantly dark.
Speaking of,
I have to turn on my seasonal affective disorder lamp.
oh dear. Speaking of
shine a flashlight in your face.
Barb, tell us about all these stickers we can buy soon.
Stickers.
I haven't opened the thing up. Okay,
Stickers.
so yes, my my activity for November, I decided on doing is making is getting my damn POD store up, print on demand, so that I can actually sell these things that I've been making, because I've been doing like just a shit ton of art. Like I frequently do, but I've been doing so much more doodling right now, and I've got like a lot of stuff that I like made with the intention of like I need to sell this thing. Like I want to get this made into an actual physical item, and hey, other people might want this actual physical item too. And so I was like, I'm still kind of doing some research to see what exact things I want to like which other sites, because I kind of want to do more than one. People tend to do that, at least to start, to like kind of try them out, because different sites have different like popularity and whatnot, and different discovery and all. So I one of the ones I was thinking about was Society 6, and then it's like, wait, I have a freaking Society 6 page already.
You've had that for a while, right?
I've had that since like I put things up in 2016. So let me cast this. I put this, as I put this up in 2016. I also like I've sold nothing because I've made no effort on trying to get people to see it. So here is my now this is how old this thing is. The URL for it is society6.com/Barb because this was pre-Barb Makes Things. Which is part of why I didn't initially give Carlin the URL to this, because I was thinking I kind of want, because I can't change it. I can change the name on here, but I can't change my account name and my URL. And I'm kind of like, I kind of just need to like, I've got the brand's, consistency across all of the things. It's all Barb Makes Things.
You can make a new one, but you can make a new one that Barb Makes Things, and you can leave Barb Norin for a different flavor of things. But I hunted this URL down because I'm like, I think people should know about it.
Okay. Yes, I will. No, you are correct about that. But yeah, I think I will make a new one. So yes, this is my thing. I need to. So apparently, some of these things, I need to update this. It decided to throw, because I have paid no attention to this in so long. It's like, oh look, we're gonna put your print on a thing. The first thing that was up here was like a metal print that was like hundreds of dollars. I'm like, well, no wonder nobody was like looking at my stuff at all. They see the first thing and it's like, $600. And it's like,
that's awesome. What are you talking about?
And then, we got this travel mug, which cuts off the head of Mr. Silas Green, who is the salamander. I like did some updates to it, but like these are some of the paper cuts that I've made. Like they're all physical paper cuts that are like, there's no ink on them. Like there's Leonard Haberdash, that line there. So all of these like little crazy details, like I used to spend more time doing this, but like all of those things, that's all paper. This is before all the fun pens. Come on, zoom out. What's going on? Oh, I wasn't. Okay, there we go. Yeah, but I had this whole. Oh no, Todd's doing the thing.
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, so like here's an ostrich butt on a mug. Here's this on a wall, the piano person. Yeah, so I need to do some more updates to this, but I also need to make my new one. In any case, I will do a Society 6 one. because they do have a lot of stuff. And because I want to do, like, I definitely want to do stickers. It'd be nice to do shirts. I've discussed that with some folks. Jay over here in the comments I'm seeing is getting kind of excited.
Rowdy. I was really to your reviews of the different sites because I feel like they all have a different feel. And when I've looked into doing this for myself in the past, I've been like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have made a spreadsheet. I just haven't populated it all yet. Ooh. I know you are going to be very excited. Ooh, there's a spreadsheet.
I'm very excited already.
I'll have that for next week. Yeah.
Oh, very exciting.
Now I like have to have this. Okay, so I'm not going to show you a spreadsheet now because it's very disappointing. But I will show you, and I have no idea if I've showed this on the screen before. So sorry if you've seen it before, folks. Some of the first ones that I want to do because I've been making these, and some folks who I know wants them. Their alignment things, just like, you know, a role-playing D&D thing. So you can have a sticker if your character is lawful good, because someone has to babysit the murder hobos. Neutral good. I just like being nice. Chaotic good. Good intentions, questionable methods. Chaotic neutral, because predictability is a weakness. These are not all my quotes. Lawful neutral, live by the rules, die by the rules. Reserve, yeah, no, so they're kind of fun. I've played around a lot with the color. Now, when I say played around a lot, I've played around a lot.
Oh, cool. Thank you for showing this. It's so cool. Yeah. Love it. I love seeing this kind of like in progress.
I mean, if you want
so cool. Take a screenshot of that, Barb, and send it to me so I can put it in the blog post if you don't mind. If you think that's, because I think that's kind of like, this is the process we go through. It's so wonderful for people to see.
Yeah, if you want process, and I don't have this book up here, of course, like, because I originally drew these, and they looked something, do I have something closer to the original? It's kind of like that, but not quite. Yeah, I don't know where. I've got drawings someplace up there, scans of the originals. Here, wait, I will back out again because you like that so much.
I
will take a screenshot for you.
I learned something about myself today as I was making the header image for our blog post. Is that I apparently am chaotic evil, because that was the only one that had a saying under it that I resonated with at all. All the other sayings under them, I was like, meh. But then the chaotic evil, I was like, yeah, I am the person your D&D master warned you about.
That's good to know. Carlin is chaotic evil.
Yeah, I think I might be.
That is good to know. Yeah. Yeah, but I have 5 million other do this? No. This? Yeah. I have so many freaking doodles that like I want to turn into, or that I might want to turn into something. So,
So for your first, let's review though what your process is right now, because you have a handful of test images that you're going to work with, which are your alignment stickers. And now for next week, you're going to create a spreadsheet that reviews the different options for you. And then week 3, you're gonna go live, or week 3 you're gonna. Is this the idea?
I like how Carlin is scheduling my my project.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm just like, what's your order of operations list here?
My order of operations is really kind of okay. Yes, I am intending to get. I'm not that organized, but I am intending to get the spreadsheet done and my alternate, or both of my pages set up by next week.
I agree.
There is absolutely no way that I won't have also played around with images before then.
Okay.
Because I can't focus that well.
No, that's the fun part. But is your launch deadline then the 20th or the 27th?
Launch deadline. Love it.
This is why you're doing this for Fried Neurons, so you have me.
The spreadsheet calendar event thing says here that you must launch.
Yeah, I know.
These are meant to be supportive targets, not like
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I like this one.
Keep us honest.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I want to do but I want to do like mugs, and yeah, I'm totally sidetracking and like not paying attention to that.
So let's say that your first,
by the end of the month, I will have my page up with, at the very, very least, the alignments.
Great.
I have other ones that I will probably, hopefully, have up there as well, but alignments will be the first.
Alignments as stickers or alignments on various products?
At least a multitude of products. More than one.
More than one. Okay.
Because, like I said, because I've got all my lettering shit too. But like, I want to do. I know.
That would make a great bedspread. I mean, I'm looking at that. That would make an amazing bedspread. You were laughing at Society 6 for like bedspread, but that would make a great bedspread.
I have no problems with having bedspreads. I have problems with those those particular pieces being just random willy nilly on a bedspread. So, if I was making a bedspread of my creature, my animal's fancy dress, I would do it differently.
So for next week
I will have progress.
Next week you'll have progress.
I'll have a spreadsheet for you because you want a thing. You want to know what I'm doing. Huh?
For me.
I will have a spreadsheet for you.
Personalize it. But I think, will you have tried uploading your alignment images to at least one of the websites?
Yes.
Great. Those are great. That's great.
Oh, yes, project designer. Who or my project manager, who I now have.
My business cards printed out for being a project therapist.
Which I find, it's interesting because like I do that for the kids all the time.
Yeah, but everyone needs someone external. Like it's really hard to do it for yourself.
You need something external.
Yes.
Which could be a person. Or it could be a deadline, or... I
do think it's helpful to have it be a person if you really want it to happen. It has to be the right person, or at least not that the person is doing what I'm doing to you, which is like, what are you doing, Barb? But that like telling at least one other person out loud, this is my intention.
You're saying this like I didn't set myself a schedule of weekly videos on a YouTube channel for 4 years.
Exactly. And so this is where the saying it out loud is.
I don't know, public deadlines.
It can be semi-public. It doesn't have to be like public.
Well, we're public-ish.
Public-ish. Nice.
JP's here.
Yeah. Oh, JP, this is my semi-infused coffee beans, JP, for my coffee, vodka, and triple sec martini. How about you, Ted? What did you do this week? Oh, we have no audio.
You're muted, darling.
Can you? Sorry. Can you give me a few seconds while my computer reboots?
Yes,
I can go.
Before I respond to that.
Yeah,
I can go next. I just need another like 10 to 15 seconds.
Well, I'm going next then.
All right.
Yours is actually really cool. This is only so given all the chaos and like for just it's been October was long and hard, and the first week of November was long and hard. And so I find kind of like when you're done going through a really long and hard period, going back to basics, sort of like recentering, finding square one of your practice and going back to that. Very useful. Also with the mind of like, okay, well, what worked for me last time through this process and what didn't. And so I decided to go back to the beginning of Deep Fried Neurons and start going through some of the projects we did and figure out what had been in fact useful to me and what hadn't, and revisiting, could I strengthen what I had done as we approach, because we are now in episode 26, 6 months later. How are we doing? And so this was our very first project, was this today, day of the week sign. And Barb did a wonderful individual name thing. Beautiful illustration. And Todd 3D printed a great spinner for the day of the week. And
which is still on your fridge. That's impressive.
And this,
yeah,
and this
we don't really use it much. At least I don't.
But I stopped using it, partially because it, it's, these squares are the right size for a Post-it note, and I was feeling kind of wasteful, like having this like stack of Post-it notes. I think in a different person or a different mindset would have been like, oh, isn't it neat to have these artifacts building up? And that could have been cool, but I was honestly feeling like wasteful. It did not bring me joy to be using up so many Post-it notes, sort of like on a daily basis. And so I stopped using it. But so now instead, what I have is a piece of board. It's 8.5 by 11, and it's cheap and transparency film. That's our soup dinner on front. I have to go with the binder clips. And it's replaceable with a replaceable pen, so it's got a little pen docker.
Nice.
And so I can replace it. So it's kind of like an iPad with a stylus, but like not.
Minus the.
But it never needs to be recharged.
That's true.
Go out with the power, and so I can just sort of like erase it and put the next thing on. It's also really easy to change this. Like I can just like slip a new piece of paper in here if I want to like change how I'm remembering things or marking things.
Yeah.
And so that'll be fun to play with a little bit more. Yeah. And it's got magnets on the fridge now. So I put magnets on the binder clips, and then I put the whole thing on the fridge. But now it will sneak into place.
That's a really satisfying sound.
It is really satisfying because the magnets are stay with the fridge if I pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I did. I revisited my "What am I doing today?" sign, and I do like I like having the one thing, like the one thing, like how is your, particularly coming off of a day, like a time of chaos, like what is the one thing you have to do today to feel like getting out of bed was worth it. Because everything's a marathon, like surviving, like our society getting through COVID is turning into a marathon. I like still have like stuff for the election to do next week. I might end up door knocking in a nearby district for someone who's like Chrissy Smith, whose race is really close. There's still the Georgia primaries. Like it's everything. There are no finish lines. And so going back to your, like, what's your daily training program and how's it working and how's it not working after a big sprint.
You can have maybe not finish lines, but like points.
No, but I think that's
Very
yes, check-in points, I think, is important to think of as in check-in points and milestones and celebrating those. But I think it's a mistake to think of. I mean, we grow up going to school where you finish a grade and it's like over, check. But there are finish lines when they're kind of in your adult life, when you have a life choice. There aren't finish lines. There are milestones, and those are different.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Even then, the milestones aren't that like monumental, and they're long in coming when they happen. Like if you're past most of your sort of major life events, like a lot of us are, like we're old enough to drive, we're old enough to rent a car, that kind of thing. It's like what is the next goalpost if you're trained to think in terms of goalposts? You have to kind of make them up for yourself, or you just have to figure out what are your strides going to be.
What's also particularly for me thinking around the election stuff, and Jay asked if I'm going to Georgia, and I am not, but I might make phone calls. Mobilize.us is a place that you can go to. It's a website, mobilize.us, that has volunteer opportunities. The work of justice. I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago when I said the How to Citizen podcast was my Thanks for Existing award. I think the work of justice is meant to be a joyous work, but it's also unending, and we in our lifetime will only see so much of the progress. So for me, learning to go back to your beginning, refine your touchstones, create your own cycle of renewal. What does a season look like for you in your particular process, I think is important to remember to do, because adulthood is not having finish lines. Learning how to build in those moments of celebration and renewal, you have to put them into your own schedule so you can feel like you've had a finish line, so you can trick yourself into having a mental finish line, even though it's not a real one. And so for me,
I would argue, because you get to a finish line to certain segments.
That's a mile marker. And that's important.
So our finish line is death.
Your only personal finish line is death.
So we only really celebrate once we've died. Is that what you're saying?
No, I am saying that we have to remember to celebrate the milestones.
God.
I know, but you're saying temper your celebration.
No, I'm not
too excited because you're not doing
nothing about tempering.
And you won't be till you're dead.
I said nothing about tempering. You're the one who's deciding that only finish lines are the most joyous you can be. Not me. I didn't say that.
No, I'm okay. We're thinking the same thing then in different ways.
Perhaps.
Because I too agree that the milestone markers should be celebrated a lot. And I tend to just do depending on the situation, depending on the loomingness of the next part of the race.
Mm-hmm.
I'll celebrate a milestone more, hey, I've reached the finish line of this particular thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to celebrate this like it's done, and then tomorrow I'm going to wake up and get back on the, get back on the road.
And when you get back on it, it's important to do, I think, the race car pit stops where your pit crew checks to be your own pit crew, to sort of bang on the processes that were or were not working for you in that last stretch are important. And so that's what I'm doing. What did I think was helpful that was not going to be helpful? What's keeping me? Yeah, basic rechecking it. So
I like this one.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm doing my little pit stop, checking in on some of the things that we did before as a way as a way to do your renewal.
I like it.
I say I still have my days of the week, but
Oh yeah, right on.
they got kind of like water spilled on them. Some of them. But that kind of feels like, that kind of feels like, on par. Like that's in keeping with 2020. The really good ones.
Now you can renew them.
The really good ones are like the anxiety. And then I've
that's
got
hilarious. Yeah.
Somewhere I have one that says like unfocused. And it got just water all over it.
Oh, that's
awesome. It's really good. I'm like, oh, that was good.
All right, Todd, what did you do this week?
All right. So jokingly the topic came up because I was like at a loss for a topic for just like screaming or something. And so I decided to make this small box here that small featureless wooden box that plays radio static. I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah. Sounds a little bit screamy.
But if you listen, you can hear the distant sound of screaming. And it comes and goes. So inside, this is a let me turn this off. This is a just a veneer on top of a little thingum box. And inside is just a little Adafruit board that has a speaker and a CircuitPython, little 1-page CircuitPython script. It's on my Twitter account if you want the source code.
Are you going to add more files, or is it going to be that same thing over and over again?
No, this was just a prototype.
Okay.
The idea is to have something that looks kind of like a radio, but has no dial indicator, but does have a dial. And then so the idea is that you're like tuning through radio static, but only thing you pick up is different types of screaming. and it's like really distant screaming, like barely discernible. It's like, is that static or am I hearing actual screaming? Yeah. So it was mostly a coding exercise to see if I could do the sort of like wave mixing in CircuitPython, which turns out to be like super trivial, so it wasn't that much of an exercise. But I'm thinking like maybe make a nice real wooden box instead of just like veneer spray adhesive on top of cardboard.
I like I'm sure you've done this, but what you mentioned with radio, the sort of I think the search term is Gothic radio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The sort of like Gothic deco.
I was thinking something very much in this sort of deco style where it looks kind of at that precipice of modernity that was happening in the 20s and stuff. So it still had like the older techniques, but was like trying to be very curvy and modern. And
so like less Gothic and more deco.
Oh, God damn it! What is going on? Sorry.
This is interesting for me, considering you're not the one streaming. Why do you have like OBS? Like you're not the one running this.
No, because.
So, Carlin, how do you feel about having a screaming block of wood?
I think it's amazing. I am super excited about this project, and I am really looking forward to. I just think it's so evocative and
appropriate.
And Todd is the perfect person to pull this off.
Well, thank you.
That's a good point.
You're like, got that audio thing going. You can do this like in the whole.
You think Todd? You think distant screaming and general static?
Usually, yeah. I mean, normally, she sees me normally in the backyard, just running back and forth, going.
Now, are these your own screams?
No. These all these samples I got off of freesound.org, which is a Creative Commons sort of free sound library. The quality is varying because it's like just people uploading stuff,
I love the idea though of you putting this at some point into Ableton or Logic. Which one is your? jam,
Ableton,
Ableton, and making it overlap a little more seamlessly. Having it be less of a GIF in audio, but which I'm sure you're doing.
Or
and
just pulling things up at random so that it's like
what's the thing is that like you can do the mixing in the microcontroller, so you can have a bunch of independent tracks that you can then like raise and lower the volumes of.
Nice.
And so
Shit.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Damn.
And so you can do this you can do this with the teensy stuff, like all these. There's all these teensy synthesizers that are out there in the world.
Wow.
Which is like it's kind of funny if you if next time we're able to go to Perfect Circuit, this synthesizer store in Burbank, like we can walk through and I can show you. I'm like, there's a teensy in that one, and there's a teensy in that one, and there's a teensy in that one, because like a lot of these you wouldn't even know.
Oh, hold on.
Oh
gosh, what's she going to?
I don't know. Carlin left.
We lost her. We lost her forever. Jay has piezo questions or piezo questions.
You've got piezo questions. I've got piezos.
Me too. I made the mic.
Would this be useful to you, or this is not deco enough?
No. That's yours, and that's too big.
That's yours. Oh my gosh, is this a what's mine is ours and what's yours is yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, also that's some like old radio thing that Carlin likes, and I don't want to like
cool.
mess it up with.
Does it work?
I maybe I don't know. Sometimes she likes these things that are likes them for the visual rather than their functional use.
Yeah.
Like
that one works. It works.
It does work. Yeah.
It works. Yes, and we have sufficient. I love you requires there to be an I and a you. So we're not completely like I have things and he has things.
I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is my box of infinite screaming, not yours.
That is true. My box of infinite screaming would look different.
All right, that is like set everything else aside, everybody. Next week's project, your own box of infinite screaming.
I think it's a beautiful project. I love it.
Honestly, I'd probably draw it, and it would just be like.
It's like the Tibetan prayer wheels.
Yeah.
Tibetan screaming wheels.
Yes.
Infinite scream machine. We should all make infinite scream machine.
We can do different parts of the infinite scream machine.
I want to make my whole infinite screen machine. I don't want to share. It's my screaming.
I was just suggesting I could do the decoration.
Well, you can do everybody. We can. My screaming.
Fine, your infinite screaming machine. You do an infinite screaming machine. I'm gonna make a rim shot machine.
Hello.
So I damn well need to finish that. As in,
Anyway, speaking of which, thanks for existing awards.
Shit, things exist.
I know. We have we have a theme this week in terms of science education, STEM education. A little bit of steam shooting. Who wants to go first?
You do.
I'll go first.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to cast just a static image. Let me see if I can do this. And oh yeah, this will be cool because I can like make it infinite, right? Right? Yeah, infinite. Wait, infinite. Yeah, infinite. This is what I'm happy for. No, okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, I saw this.
Yeah. So there's this YouTube mathematician. I mean, he's a mathematician who also does YouTube, and his YouTube channel is called Stand Up Maths, and because he's English, so maths plural, and he did this really great video about. I mean, first, thank him for existing, and also his coterie of other scientists and mathematicians. But he did this great video on Benford's law, which is something that you might have heard a lot about last presidential election, because it's a way of analyzing the distribution of the digits of the first or second number of some group of numbers, like say the number of votes in different counties. And it was like, oh, but in Chicago the distribution is all screwed up. Why is that? And it's not surprising. The reason is because in Chicago all the little wards are all about the same size, and they all vote basically exactly one way or the other. And so Benford's law, which essentially has a nice sort of like exponential like curve, where like the digit 1 shows up a lot more than digit 2, shows up more than digit 3, and so on. That only is valid if you have a wide range of numbers. Like, it doesn't work for numbers between, like, say 1 and 100. It can work between numbers 1 and like 1,000. And so everyone, when all of your votes, when the number of votes in each county or each ward is like 500, and everybody kind of voted the same, then your distribution is not going to be a very Gaussian distribution. It's going to be, very skewed looking. So it was nice because because Benford's law can be used to detect forgeries or bad, like what do you call it? Mucking with the data. And so it's like, oh, look, here's an example of mucking with the data. And it's like, no, it turns out,
Oh. Aw. Did we lose him entirely?
I think so. Barb, what was your thanks for existing?
I know. My thanks for existing. I don't know. I don't want to like interrupt like right in the middle of his explanation of it, because like I'll go on for a while.
Okay. You only have we're at 52 minutes and 27 seconds. So
I know, and Lord knows there's like there's a hard out on this. There's another thing that comes in right after. We have to end
mine dinner
at 6:30.
Mine dinner.
Your dinner.
All right.
Okay. I'm hang on. I gotta pull it up.
Okay.
No, working on it. Here we go. My thanks for existing is the Exploratorium, which, if you don't know, what the fuck's wrong with you? But no, if you don't know, I don't even want to say it's a kids museum. It's like an exploration and science museum in San Francisco, and it is the freaking best place ever. I say this as a child of the Bay Area, and anybody who grew up in the Bay Area has fond memories of this place. And it has expanded and grown since then, including having it moved to a pier recently and got some more space. They have like after dark events for grown-ups, and they serve drinks and whatnot, and you can go and just kind of play around without kiddos around all the time, which I have gone to once. I went once with my mom. And just like all the fun stuff, and they've done for like right now, everybody is like putting all kinds of activities up online, and some places that have always been online activity resource hubs have been doing this for a long. Oh, sorry, I got to add Tom. He's here. Have been doing this for a long time, or that's like all they do. They've been doing this. They've been doing it for a long time. So it's like, it's not new. So they have like their exhibits, like their in-person exhibits are so much fun. Like you can play, there's just rainbows freaking everywhere. Like there's soap stuff. Like you can play this sun painting thing. Like I don't like recognize all these because like they've got new things coming all the time. They have a workshop where people build like new exhibits, and it has like, it's open it's up, like there's a wall, or there's like a fence or something, but you could see what's happening. You could see them building stuff, and you can see all their cool tools. I almost said toys, because toys. It looks just like really cool. I almost worked there.
There's another science museum in the Bay Area that I really like. That's way up on the hill. It's the Berkeley Museum of Science. Have you ever been up there?
The Berkeley one or the Lawrence?
Lawrence
Law Science. Yeah, that place is cool too. And then there's the Tech in San Jose, which is great as well. Sun painting. I'm gonna have to click through some of these, just so you know. This is why I said Todd should go first. Wait for Todd. Yes, playing with the sun and light and just like all of the funness. They've got videos about like how to like make your own stuff, like doing the pendulum things. They have videos about this whole kind of pebble thing, which inspired my these guys that I've made, which I don't know if I've shown them on the stream before, but like they're fun. It's like shiny Mylar and a thing, and it's a really great way to experiment with reflection and transparency and opacity and whatnot. And like, oh yeah, this is the pixel table thing, and you play with it. All of the things are play with, and then so they have the tinkering studio that has people who work there who are all amazing folks, including like, for example, this person, Anna Serrano, who does like stuffs out of cardboard. This is like more activities. Like, look at all this shit, folks. Look at all this shit. Coffee, science of coffee.
Ooh,
Monster Mallows. Like all of these could be like a single thanks for existing, which I might do that. Science in the I might just go through this and be like, here's my thanks for existing today. Oh look, that's right, the Strand Beast. Theo Janssen's Strand Beasts.
Yeah.
You'll know those, yeah? They had like an exhibit of those a couple years back at the Exploratorium. And so they had some of them there, and I got to see some of them in person, and then they had some out on the beaches walking around. Which is really cool. They're so big and they're so neat. Yeah. Getting to see those in person, they're impressive. Wait, I still have some other things. Science snacks. Then they have apps. Like how many Saturdays are left in your life, and like this is about coffee. It's freaking about coffee. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, shit.
This all looks very fun, Barb.
And then they have a book that I have not read through in its entirety, because every time I open a page, like I don't get past 2 pages before I get inspired to go do something. So I recommend this book, which like you can light things up with the front page, like the front cover. Like if you put like a 9-volt bat, I should have pulled out.
I see.
I'll do it before we end. You go first. That's my thanks for existing. Thank you, Exploratorium, for inspiring me and being freaking awesome.
That's wonderful.
Yes,
that's a really great thing, and I love the fact that every page inspires you. That's really cool.
It's so cool. It's like all the stuff, all the people who work there.
Mine's a bit more narrow. I'm screencasting.
Should we have Todd finish now that he's back? Oh wait, here I should stop sharing.
Nope, I'm done.
You're done?
I'm done.
Okay. So this is sort of along the lines of like going back and looking over different deep fried neurons we've done, and we did a coloring pages. The coloring pages, deep fried neurons, where everyone made their own coloring book page, and I thought that was what's really neat is that NASA and JPL have a ton of educational content online, and they are now just started a Color with NASA social media campaign, sort of to promote promote science and art and science. And this is their first coloring page that they've made, and you can download it and get it. And it teaches you about the history of space exploration. And I just thought it was really cool, sort of a fun, soothing thing to do, like while they do it, and just like thanks NASA and JPL for like existing. I think they do so much that they're not really super credited for. There's this whole section. They have a whole coloring book. This is not their first rodeo when it comes to coloring books. And so, astrobiology comic. I mean, what?
Nerds.
Super nerds. I thought this was pretty great. So science.gov, science.nasa.gov. I think it's such a great name. Astrobiology, life in the universe. Comic book.
Fun.
That's not a coloring book. I'm sort of confused.
No, not that one.
Comic
it's
book.
just that's a comic book. They have coloring books and they have the solar system ones are colors.
Yes, I read, but this is it's under the. So I wonder if some of those pages are blank later on because it is under the heading of.
Could be.
But then there's also the coloring pages, I think, which are for a younger audience as well. But so I like the idea of, we had a lot of coloring activities as I was, I remember from being when I was young. And actually, since I have a very visual memory, like spending time manually coloring in a page, I think really does help you remember things. This is why the anatomy coloring book exists for medical students. And so this idea of like just spending time caring for information, bringing it to life, bringing it to colors, I think is a wonderful
Totally,
way to meditate on information without like meditating.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's what I got.
Shoot.
I should make a thanks for existing shirt.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I'd buy it.
Yeah, walk around wearing thanks for existing.
Yeah. I think that sounds lovely.
It's very.
With a little Velcro patch that you can add on that says like "except you," except this guy, except that guy.
I will let you add that yourself, Todd.
Okay. Deal.
Maybe I'll make it a sticker.
All right.
Cool to have patches too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Carlin is getting anxious now because she's getting.
I still have drink left.
I was gonna say, I don't. I went through 2 beers.
Yeah.
Keep on, lady.
I gotta save some for Todd so he can taste it later.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right.
A likely story. All right. Thanks for joining us. Come see us next week. We'll be here. Are we going to stream on Thanksgiving week? Like, I don't see why not, but.
Yeah, it's not Thanksgiving Day. I mean, Black Friday seems like a great day to not shop and actually hang out with people you care about instead. Fried Neurons.
Neurons. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Yay, bye. Cheers.
Cheers.